Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa. I hope you're all having a wonderful and creative day, and so happy to see that you have stopped by to see what I'm working on. And what I'm working on is the letter C for our ABC hashtag ABC April 2025 challenge that I'm working on. And like I said, we're doing the letter C. All right, so for this month, I am working on my teal journals. Yesterday's video, I created my second teal journal out of a box, and today I'm going to be putting closures, the letter C, on both the fabric journal and the cardboard box journal that I made yesterday. So we're going to start with this one. I did do the fabric covers offline. There is a video out there of me making these. I did do these slightly different. I did end up using my stick glue. I was just in a hurry, and I stick glued what you don't see underneath there, put the fabric on, and then I did wrap it over, and I did use the stick glue, and I'm telling you, it really worked well. I usually use Fabri-Tac, and I just wasn't in the mood to squeeze my Fabri-Tac bottle today to do this, so yeah, it worked really good. So I think I might be stick gluing it from now on. Yeah. I am going to sew around it, and that was kind of also led to my decision that I thought stick glue would work even before I knew it would work well, because the closure that I'm going to use, I want to make sure it gets sewn in between the two layers. So, all right, the closure I'm going to do is going to be a snap closure with the tab. Now, I've done this before on a couple of videos last spring, but I just want to show it one more time for the people that have not seen it before. So what I've done is I've taken just a scrap piece of fabric. It is off of this piece here, and it is approximately, and this is just a rough estimate, 2.5 wide, and the length was ended up being about 5.5. I did fold it down, so it's probably maybe like 6 inches. I did fold it down to give this part some strength because that's where the snap's going to go. I then took it and I folded it into approximate thirds to make the tab. I will eventually sew this as well as the outside of this, but I want to start with this tab. Now, this is the top. I need the bottom. All right, so the tab or the snap, I'm thinking, I got so many, I was thinking the bright gold, but then I thought, I don't know, maybe that's too bright. But it's definitely bee colored. But then I was thinking the black could be fun too, but it's more of a shiny black and I wasn't a fan. And then I was looking at this antique brown, really kind of hides. So I'm kind of a fan of that. But then I saw this one, which is like a gold, but it's not as, boy, these, I'm telling you, I got these little snaps through Temu, and they are strong. This is kind of like a pinkish gold, which kind of reminds me of their cheeks, but I think I am going to go with the bright gold. This is a happy cover. So I think a happy yellow. Yeah, we're going to go with a happy yellow. So these snaps that I got through Temu come with these kind of washer things that you want to use to make sure they don't come apart. They are kind of similar, or they really are, they're brads because they've got the sticks in there. And there's a piece that's sticking up. Push that down. I don't think it really matters. It's going to be locked in some fabric anyway. Okay, so for the top portion, I'm going to put the one with the innie belly button, and the flappy tab is going to have the outie belly button. Okay. Now don't fall away. We're going to do our best to center this, and I've lost I don't have my X-Acto knife, but I'm pretty sure a pokey tool should work just fine. So I'm going to find the center of this. It's 9 inches, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4.5 should be center. So we're going to put it right about there, and we want it in a bit. I'm thinking right by this hole should be good. Now we need to put a hole a little bit. There's two prongs, I should say. So we're going to put the prong in one of the holes and then put the prong in another one. So I'm going to kind of straddle the dot. And I'm going to put the holes in there. And we're going to see if that's good enough to push this through. And it should be. Now we're going to make them a little bit bigger. I don't want to make them too big because I don't want it loose, but we're going to use I guess they're about the same. We're going to use the blade of the scissors just to make more of a slot. There we go. I think that's much better now. And I don't know if I said that, but the reason we do this, oh, I pushed it in. The reason we do this beforehand is because the back side is then seen. There we go. Okay. And if you do it afterwards, and I have done it afterwards, I then took a piece of fabric and glued it over this washer kind of thing, just so it wasn't seen. Okay. Now we're going to fold the tab out and out. My handy dandy. I use this for brads all the time. Top of the glue, just to push it down. All right, so that is going to make this so sturdy. It is never going anywhere because of that washer and the tab. And then, because they're going to sew it together, we'll never see the back. Beautiful. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing to this flippy flappy thing. Now, this is going to be sewn inside here. And I want it to be able to snap around and close. Now, I want to put it on this side because I want this top to be blank and not be seen. So I'm going to open this up and I'm going to put this in here facing this way. Okay, I hope you understand that. And this is where the double fabric also comes in handy because it gives a little bit of strength on top of using the washer. All right, pushing it through. All right, need a little bit bigger. So we'll go back to this. Now, if I, see I pushed it too big. It should be okay though. If I had my X-Acto blade, that would have been the best because you put it down and just put a little slit X-Acto blade. But it is downstairs. Okay, there we go. The slot was a little bit big, but it'll be okay because of the washer. Put the washer in there and fold it down. These brads are really strong. They're not like thinner brads that you use for, just don't want to squish that, regular brads. So they are very strong. You need something, I have pliers I probably could have used to smash down also. Okay, so this is going to go here, this is going to go here, and it is now going to, when I sew it in, come around and do that. So I will have to take it to the sewing machine and sew it, but I am going to put some glue in here just to glue it, and this might be where I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac because it is all fabric. And of course, I didn't tip it over. Well, I hope your day is going well. Remember to tip your Fabri-Tac over if you're planning on using it. Should I make that the F? Fabri-Tac tips. F of the day. To make the second closure. Now, I sometimes have difficulty sewing the top of this because the snap gets in the way. So I'm going to want to glue this pretty good in case I can't sew it. Put some glue on the back of there. And now it really, the inside is not going to be seen. It's really this top part that's flipping over that's a little bit more important, that it gets enough glue. Okay. Pull a few strings off that came loose. And there we go. Okay. Now you did, and I didn't mention this before, I kind of did it unconsciously, but I put the brad a little bit closer to that side, so when I want to top stitch here, hopefully I'll be able to catch it and top stitch it. I might have put it too close to this side to be able to top stitch the top, but we will see. I'm not going to be able to show the sewing on camera because I don't have a setup for my sewing machine to be under camera, so we're going to have to do that off camera. Okay. All right, I'm going to go sew this, and I will be right back. All right, I am back, and I was successful at getting it sewn around there. I was able to take my needle and push it all the way over to the side. I didn't sew the whole thing because it's not going to be seen. Only the part of it is going to be sticking out. So I didn't worry about sewing the rest of it down. It is glued, but again, it is going to be snapped. It's going to be stuck in between there. So it's going to go like this and done. So we're going to I'm going to put it right to the edge so that it can get caught in there, as well as leave enough room so that it's kind of hard to tell what's in there. Leave enough room to grow. So I think that's probably going to be perfect right there. And I don't know if I've got a binder clip. I probably do. Just to have that not move when I go to sew it. Oh, you know what I think I'm going to do first? You know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm just going to glue it down in its little place. Try to do this left-handed, but should have sewed it just a little farther. I'm just going to scooch it down just so the thread is right to it. I'm going to sew on top of it, and it'll be good. All right, and I think I will put some glue back here and glue these two layers together just so they don't shift while they're being sewn. I don't need it everywhere because it is I don't think there was really a top or bottom, but obviously that needs to go on that side. And we're going to do our best to get the corners to meet. There we go. That's better. Let's just shift it up just ever so slightly. Oh, still seems to be shifted up a little bit. Okay. All right, there we go. All right, so I'm going to take it to the sewing machine. I'm going to sew it with that open. Sew along there, sew along the four sides, and be right back. All right, I am back. The outside is sewn, but not with some huge problems. First off, I need to re-explain how I put this on because I told you wrong. So what I had done originally was I had the snap laying here, if you recall, and then I had the piece of fabric over here, put it in there, and glued it down. Well, that was wrong because that was on the back side of the front. What I should have done is flipped it over and made sure that it was on this side, even on that side. So if you have to go back and watch the video, when I originally did it, I had the tab coming out here in the right spot, glued it in. That was wrong. I had sewed it all up, went to put it on, and the tab was back here, and I flipped it. I'm like, well, that's not right. So I had to cut open the seam on that side, cut open the seam on this side. I was able to stick this in and re-sew it together correctly. So fixed. I had a couple other problems with it. I ran out of bobbin. That was the first problem. And then it jumped out of its tension, so it started getting jammed. That was the second problem. And then the third problem, when I realized I had sewn it incorrectly. So it took me about 5 times to do this. But it's all done. It's cute. I like it. I like that I picked the black thread to go on there because it is seen. I did a straight stitch instead of a zigzag. And I have determined that I will put corners on the end because there is a bit of the manila folder showing through, so they're a little bit rough. So I will put some corners on these at some point to do that. But it is finally done, and it's cute. I like it. I like how it ended up turning up, even though it was quite the adventure. Okay, so with that one done, I'm going to pause the video and get everything ready to show you how to do the second closure, and hopefully this one shouldn't have problems on the box journal. All right, here is the box journal. So I'm going to be putting a closure on here with one of these parachute type clips. You've probably seen them before on fanny packs. They're really hard to open when you don't have a string attached to them, but they work very well for opening and closing things. So yeah, they're not easy without a string, but there we go. Now what I've taken is I had this twill tape, and it was beige. I cut a piece off so you can see what color it was. And then I cut a piece off, and I did a test using my VersaFine Clear where I inked it up, and my fingers got really blue. And then I went and washed it, and after I washed it and let it dry, I took a piece of paper and I rubbed it, and ink's not coming off. It is permanent. So I took and did the same thing for the big one, and I'm like, a little bit's coming off there, but it's just about to dry. But all good. And it's kind of interesting because it did leave uneven texture for it, where it almost looks like it's antiqued a bit, but it's all good. So I like it. I'm saving that piece for something else, and be ready to go. So I get that. I don't need that anymore. Put that away. Now for these closures, I'll open this up here. I probably just need a little bit of Fabri-Tac for it. If you've ever worked these fanny packs, they go in one direction, and then when they get pulled, they kind of lock themselves, but I can never remember what the direction is. Usually it's a trial by fire, putting them through and seeing if they, oh, I got it. So it pulls. So you can actually make it shorter, but when you pull it, it's strong, or you can loop it up and have it get bigger. So I thought this would be interesting to be able to adjust it if it needs to have adjustment to make bigger or smaller on this, since it's a bigger spine. So we have that. Now for this end, it just goes through the loop, and I'm going to glue it down to itself after I figure this out. All right, so that's the front. This is the inside. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to have that go in the back, I think. Adjuster in the back, so it pulls across the top. Yes, I'll do it that way. So this is going to go, I don't think there's a top or bottom wrong on this. I think it goes, I'm going to glue that side down. It's gonna go like that. Yep. All right, so I was thinking that I have too much stuff on my desk right now. I was thinking about just gluing it in and it would be seen, or I do have these where I could go back and cover up the band and make it kind of decorative. I'm not going to add this now. It'll be a later decision, but I do have these as standby to put them on for that. So I don't want it too far from the end, so I think I'm gonna end up gluing it down fairly close to that end because I have some room to slide, and then I'll glue it down, and then I'll cut that side and glue it as it goes. So I did leave my gluey Fabri-Tac. All right, so I'm thinking I'm gonna glue as best I can along this line right here. And I'm not looking from the top down, so this could be crooked. But I think as long as this end, whoops, helps if the board stayed straight. Okay. The other reason I thought that paper might be good is that it's just an extra layer of holding it down. Might not be a bad idea. Okay. I mean, Fabri-Tac is really strong on its own usually, but I'm thinking, you know, when this maybe gets pulled up a little bit, it might be better off. I could also go through and sew it around the edges. I've sewn paper before, but for now, we're just going to go with the glue part. And you're not too bad, but I'm just going to add a little of you to it. Okay. So, all right, so you're going to go. Now, I've never done this before, so I hope I just didn't ruin my I think I'm going to put it across the top. I'm going to go the other way. And glue it down. If I glue it pretty close, I do have quite a bit of room that this can be pulled. Yeah, I'm gonna have to sew that. I can see that it's gonna want to pull up. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna glue it down. Another piece to add is a trim to something. Okay. Okay. Well, I think that helped a little bit to have it not pull up, is to have it glued on both sides like that. Oops, don't move. This might have to be a dry overnight kind of project, and come back to it and see how it works. But I definitely think it's going to work. But I wanted to keep this side loose because, again, I want to be able to tighten it if I want to, and or loosen it. Yep. But if I make it exactly how it should be, that might not be a bad idea either. Have it like that so that it is I don't think this is going to end up being too gator mouth because it's like I said, it is two signatures and they won't be too full. So I think I am going to glue it down in place. I might regret it, but I think for this, it's probably the best answer to do. I definitely am going to go through and sew around it because I did notice that it is coming up, and I'm just going to add a little bit more where the bends were. Yeah, I think I'm going to sew that and come back. So I'm going to go ahead and sew that down, sew around the outside of it, and I'll be right back. All right, well, I am quite happy with the outcome of this. I did end up sewing around it, and I double stitched across the twill tape. But since I took a little bit of time to get there, the gluing the fabric twill on the outside really kind of made it pretty strong anyway. But that really, I mean, that's not going anywhere now. It's stuck on there. It's not going anywhere. It might be still a little wet underneath here. It did change colors. So if it stays like that, I probably will go back and add some sort of bridge cover to it just to, I don't know, just to cover it up. And I might end up making it into some sort of pocket or something. But that is for a future day to cover it up. But for now, I am going to add the corners to them just to fancy it up. But I really, I mean, I can't love this any more than I do right now. I just love it. So I did pick out these kind of grungy, rustic kind of corners. I should put a little glue in there. If I can get my tab in there, yeah, I can. There we go. Just to kind of equal the look of it. Antique, that's the word I was looking for. So we'll just put those on and give them a little gentle squeeze. And the glue should help them eventually stick if for some reason the squeeze was not good enough. So I am a fan of that closure, that is for sure. I'm looking forward to seeing how it ends up working out, how big I made it, because since I did glue down after the fact the slide part, and I thought it would move too much. I am not sure if I was going to need it any bigger, but I think it should be okay. I'm hoping it'll be okay. And I think I said this when I started the A video, especially for new people that maybe showed up just for this collaboration, is I am not perfect. A lot of this is going to be trial and error that I haven't done before, and just to inspire to do something new and different. That was what the goal was of these videos. So I'm doing stuff that's new to me and that I've never tried before. And I don't do the item and then come back with the finished one and show. I like to kind of do it on the fly. So is it right or wrong? Hard to say. Okay. All right, there it is in all its glory with its beautiful. I could close it now. So yeah, it does. It definitely has a little bit of room to grow, but I think it should be also okay. So I'll be able to stay up like that. But it is nice and strong to be able to open and close without any issues. So very excited. I love it. Okay, I did get corners for the other one, the B one with its snap, which also is a fun closure. And I guess C is for corner too. So I guess I did a dual duty with these. I did pick out gold to match that, and it kind of looks like a little hive, I thought, like a little beehive. So I thought this was kind of a nice choice. I liked it. All right. Yeah, so if you like the video, thumbs up would be great. If you have any questions or comments, I think I keep forgetting to say that in the other ones, especially since a lot of this stuff is new, please. I am more than happy to answer any questions. Just trying to get that corner fabric poked in a little bit better so it looks more finished. Here we go. Yeah, so any questions or comments, I would love to hear from you. Oh yeah, I love it. I really should start in the back when I do these, but I often forget. I am gonna just trim that fuzzy part off of there. The fuzzy part tends to be what wants to kind of sneak through. All right, so we got I got A, B, and C, 3 in a row. Now I got to figure out, unfortunately, I'm not sure what I'm going to do for D right at the moment. So the other thing would be is if you have any ideas of any of the letters upcoming D through Z that you'd like to see me try to tackle, I would definitely be up for a challenge to be able to do something that you might want to see get done. So please feel free to leave, hey, I'd love to see you do this for, you know, J, or I'd love to see you do this for Q. Okay. All right, one more. And we're going to call this on. Hopefully this is not too long. It was so many stops and starts in this video. I have no idea how long it is. Usually when I say that, it ends up being, you know, 25 minutes. And I'm like, oh, how did that, you know, my 3 hours of time, because I was doing a lot off camera, end up being only 25 minutes. But I guess we'll see when I edit it down to upload. Trying to make these ABCs not too long, but this one, being it had quite a few components, I could see why it ended up might being a little bit longer. All right, I'm gonna flip that one over after I put my glue away. Oops, Craft-A-Lanch. There we go. Okay. Super. I love it. Room for that one to grow. I love it. Corners, beautiful. And I got this one. With room to grow. Very fun. Okay. All right. Well, that is going to be it for me today. I appreciate each and every one of you that stopped by and hung out with me today. As usual, I hope you all have a wonderful and creative day. Bye now.